Hey, Creepy Peeps, it's Nigel,
And Dane.
and we are back with another three course. And might I say, this is such a great episode because we have some announcements as well as the actual episode that we're going to get into right now just before we start. Now, really quick, just a huge shout out to everyone who came to watch to listen and watch if you're a fan over on the YouTube for the video casts, our Five Nights at Freddy's movie podcast episode. It has had a huge response from you guys, and it has really done some great numbers. It's actually one of our top 10 most popular episodes, rivaling that of Ghostbusters 2, and it's
Ooh.
climbing up the ranks, and it is currently heading towards The Grinch, which is our most popular episode in our lineup so far.
I do not know why The Grinch is our most popular episode, because as those of you who used to know before the changes were made George Lucas style, there was a lot of moments from that episode.
There were a lot of audio screw ups during that episode, and as some
And
of you keen
Nigel,
oh yeah, as some of you keen viewers may have noticed, I did over this past weekend go back and fix some of those audio issues. But fear not. We did also see the entertainment value in these audio mix-ups, which we wouldn't do that to our most popular episode. We wouldn't just make these little glitches go in vain. All right, we will be releasing a behind-the-scenes video coming out soon on the Just a Guy Network, where we go over this footage and we go over a few bits of new footage and how we make the podcast itself. So be on the lookout for that. But we do appreciate for anyone new who has seen the Grinch episode, as we did kind of sort of technically re-release it. I wasn't aware that was going to be the case, but after I made those audio fixes, it republished itself as a new episode, which is odd because it places itself in the lineup by date and
Five Nights at
time.
Freddy's. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't do it by episode number.
It's whatever though, because it's in time for the holiday season.
Yeah, so
we didn't post for a long time during November, and on my end, that's just because I don't like Thanksgiving, and I just whatever. I decided to sit it out.
How would that make it so that you didn't post?
I know. I realized as I said
it.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that didn't work for you.
Here's the thing. You know what? You guys went. You said Happy Halloween, Creepy Peepers. Good job with the FNAF, but we're gonna leave for a second. We're gonna eat some Thanksgiving food, have a horrible day. Now we're back on this lovely, I don't know when you guys are listening to this or when this is going to get posted, but on this lovely December 6th night, we're back in time for the Christmas season, and we're kicking it off.
Oh, sorry. Are you done, Dane? I was expecting to get the Geringer address.
I think what I was trying to say was, we're back. And you know what, guys? We're sorry. All right. Now, As you saw from clicking on this godforsaken podcast episode, this is another three course. We have yet for you three more terrifying multimedia experiences from across the web. And they're all sort of surrounding one particular sort of being or creature this time around. Whereas the others were just kind of scattered about. I sort of focused this one on still loose bits of media, but ties them together as a bit of a creature feature. And I thought,
Whoa.
yeah, exactly. I,
What? Wait a minute. What was that supposed to be?
that was supposed to be our first topic, the Goatman. Did you hear him?
Oh, I heard him. I heard him.
That's the sound he makes, and we're gonna learn all that and much more. Um, and I decided to put the Goatman in the image category. Even though he is a general urban legend, there's a very famous image that you have most likely seen if you've seen any videos or any topics about the Goatman on the web. That everyone uses the same picture of the Goatman. He's crouched over this dead body in the woods, and he's like, "Oh my God, there's somebody with a camera right there!" And he's reaching for the camera, and he goes, "Bahar, bahar, 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 bahar," like that, like I did earlier. And that's the picture. And the picture was created by a deviant, a deviant artist whose name is Vigot. It's Vigot. So I don't know if maybe it's Vigot or Vigut, whichever one. I don't know. But something I wanted to talk about with the Goatman is that the Goatman actually has a lot of similarities to Slenderman. Reason being is like Slenderman, like there's like different interpretations of him, and like there's different versions of like what people say his powers are, like what he can do and like what he can't do, what his weaknesses are. The Goatman has a lot of stuff like that because he's got multiple towns of people who think they know everything about the Goatman. Is like,
Now,
oh,
this is not to be confused with the famous Mothman.
oh yes, no. We this is not to be confused with the famous Mothman, and we will be covering the famous Mothman. If not in another three course, then either when we do Mothman Prophecies, I guess the movie, or
Oh,
when
I
we
thought we were gonna
do
do a spooky spotlight about him.
a spooky spotlight. Oh yeah, that's right. A spooky spotlight. We're probably gonna do with Mothman. But anyways, um, the Goatman. What was I saying about the Goatman that I had a point?
Different towns
Um,
have different stories.
oh yeah, different towns have different versions of him. One guy's like he's allergic to peanuts, so throw peanuts at him if you see him. Other people kind of throw in a bit of like Wendigo in there. It's like, oh, this guy had to eat somebody, and then he became a goat man or whatever. And it's like, yeah, whatever. Um, and folks, I don't know if this has ever happened before on the podcast before, but I'm going to quickly announce that I'm having deja vu right now.
Wow.
Uh-huh. It's really weird. I remember this exact moment that just happened. Let me know in audience if I've done this before. um Anyways, many people get really passionate and involved with the Goatman, I've found, and so passionate that I have a little tragic tale about the Goatman. Just like the Slender Man, those two girls who tried to murder their friend, and they say they were influenced by the Slender Man. You remember this, Nigel?
I do remember this.
Yes. A couple somewhere in Ohio, they were going searching for the Goatman in broad daylight. Like what? Um, and this woman was on a train track, but was also a bridge, and she was hit by the train and knocked off the bridge while looking for the Goatman. Um, somewhere around 3100 block of South Pope Lick Road, around that area. Um, and just goes to show you that sort of belief system of like, the more you put more thought and harm into this being, the more it might will itself into existence.
Wait, so is it like the Ghostbusters 2 slime? Like the more power that you let it that you let it have, the more power than it feeds off of you or something like that?
um kind of. It's kind of like this neat little analog horror called Greylock, um which we might talk about one day, I don't know. But it's basically like, say, like Slenderman. Okay, we all know Slenderman isn't real, but he's super popular, and like there's enough of force behind him that made these two crazy girls to act up and do something. This couple
Yeah.
went out to go find the Goat Man, and the Goat Man's supposed to be a harmful creature, and here people get knocked off by a train on a bridge. It's strange and spooky and coincidental. um and there are also Goatman cults. There are cults of people, as I
I
said.
have heard of this. I have heard of
Yes,
this.
yes, there are passionate people of the Goatman, because there's people who are, there's normal people out there who are armed to the teeth and they're like, I'll skin the Goatman, I'll get him. And then there's other people who are like, let us worship the Goatman, he has something to say, I think he's rather nice. um and I also found out that the leader of one of these Goatman cults likes to stand at the bridge where that woman was hit by that train. He likes to dress up as a goat man and like stand there and like preach.
Wow. Yeah, I
So
didn't know about that.
that's what I mean. There is no goat man, but the goat madness has created more just bad real life stuff.
Well, but then again, let's not forget we also know personally another one of the cult leaders of the Goatman cult. You know,
Ooh,
Tyson Gringer.
oh my god. Yeah. I hope he doesn't get mad for people, doxing him like that.
Hey, well,
He always said he was the goat on Fortnite. He always did.
yeah, he always has that. He's always got that llama skin. He was trying to he was trying to let us know with subtle hints.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, we're going to move on to our next topic. And at this point in the show, I forgot the order of which I do the topics. So at this point, I'm just going to save probably the scariest for last, which would be the sound. So we're going to go on to the video category now, which is I have a body of a pig. Don't I, Nigel? I'm kidding.
Ah,
That was That's the title of the video. And this video is by Devin Raymond. Uh, and this video is honestly, late at night, very terrifying. This video is
and I just saw it for the first time tonight. So
Nigel just watched it for the first time. Basically, I'm gonna give a brief synopsis, and then I'm gonna ask Nigel how he felt about it and how I feel about it. But basically, it's a video of these sort of ghost explorers inside this abandoned place, and they're going through, and they have this EVP session while they're going through, and they pick up an audio of this like deep voice being like, I have a body of a pig. Oink oink oink. Oh, we're supposed to feel fat.
We're
we're
supposed
supposed
to feel fat. Well, we
we're
know he
supposed
does.
we're supposed to feel bad for the ghost. Yeah. Anyways, but then later on it's like they like we took this picture inside this crevice and look, there's this creepy blob with a face on it. It's on the cover of the episode you guys are watching. So if you want to know what it looks like, there it is. We'll also throw up pictures on the video.
Yeah,
We
if
may as
you're
well show
watching
another.
the
Yeah, we may
if
as
you're
well
watching the
play
video
a
cast,
clip. We
yeah,
may as well play a clip of the audio too, because that part's scary. Um, but basically, throughout my childhood and my upbringing, I would I would call myself Dane Hansen. I would lure videos into my sting house, and I would expose them. I would expose them on whether they were real or not. I'd set them down. I'd be like, "Hello, blank room soup. Why don't you take a seat there and have some soup?" So, what are you doing here today? Well, I are you real or are you fake? And you know what? I still don't know that one to this day. And we'll talk about that one day, blank room soup. We'll talk about that for sure. But back to I have the body of a pig. This video is fake.
obviously. Oh, I knew it was fake. That's the one thing that kind of, you know.
And to people like me and Nigel who edit videos and stuff together, you can tell it's fake. And there's very easy ways to make things like this video. However,
I will say this though. I will say this though. In
yeah.
2007, I would have had a hard time determining whether or not this was fake,
Oh my
even
god.
if I were an adult.
If I saw this late at night in 2007, oh my god, dude. Not only would I have a harder time of differentiating whether it was real or not, but I'd be ruined. I think I'd be ruined. I'd be done. Um, but
I mean,
this.
you can't take the dog out for a walk after seeing that.
Oh yeah, no, of course not. Of course not. And but I also found this channel that these video this the Devin Raymond channel only has this video up now. But back in the day, I remember this channel had multiple other fake EVP ghost like recorded videos, but they were much more comedic. They were like in like a haunted house. They were like doing a seance. They were like, "Can you tell us your name?" And the ghost was like, "Go stick your foot in a salad," or something weird like that. But Body of a Pig was actually like it was meant to be like purposefully funny because like, oh, a ghost, like, hey, I have a body of a pig, oink oink. But out of context of this channel, like that's surprisingly like they thought it was funny, but like to everyone else, like I have a body because nowadays there's like analog horrors and video games that actually take inspiration from this very video, and like you'll see it hinted at. Like I have the body of a pig. That word, that like phrase comes up a lot in like stuff I've seen. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Oh, Nigel just saw it though. How did you feel about it?
So I'm actually glad you asked. Now, this is a good this video actually reminds me of a very specific era of YouTube horror videos. Back before Slender, back before FNAF, back before that kind of stuff. Back before really even like creepypasta like video tie-ins were a thing. All
Huh?
right? And it was back when it was a part of like early 2000s YouTube where there wouldn't be anything to be scared of. People would just take random videos out of context and
Yeah.
they'd either have a Photoshop picture that they'd like throw one frame in and they'd be like, "Did you see that? and
Uh-huh.
then they'd slow it down, and it'd always be the same like Windows Movie Maker, like same font with like the
Yeah.
blue, like dark blue background, white like permanent marker font. Like, did you
Yeah.
see that? And every time I remember getting scared of those videos because I don't know what it was, but every time the little like, did you see that came up, I was always like, dude, I don't want to see it. Like, it
Well,
was
no,
always just
because
like,
a lot of those videos would actually like jump scare you at the end.
I wouldn't even see those. I wouldn't even see those. I would just see,
Oh,
I
then
would
you're
just see,
lucky.
yeah,
Almost every one of those videos I've seen like has had at least, if not an in-camera scary moment to be like, oh, then like a very cheap like that Jeff the Killer at the end, you know?
yeah.
So but yeah, you're right about that. That this reminded me of that too, because at the beginning it has that Windows Movie Maker black with white text too, like it just explaining the situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And just the overall graininess of it. It's very nostalgic video.
That's true.
Um,
Yeah. And yeah, I gotta say, the only probably one of the only things that probably one of the only things that kind of made me a little bit nostalgic, but like in a good way. There's it makes it onto a lot of like scariest videos on YouTube uh
right.
lists, but it's the alligator in my sewer video
Oh my gosh, you're
where
right.
right when they showed the whatever like ghost or whatever. For some reason, I remembered that video because the guy literally pans down to his sewer, and there's this like 20-foot gator right
Yes.
next to this guy's like whatever. I think it's like kid dropped a like a blue rubber ball. It's a
Yeah,
real video. It's a real video. The guy wasn't in any danger. The alligator couldn't have what flew diagonally 5 feet in the air and then killed the guy.
right.
But it was just like it's not even a scary video to me. It's kind of a it's more interesting than anything because I've always heard the like wise tale like oh there's gators in these here sewers. I'm like what are you talking about, granddad? But then like ever since I came across the video, I'm like wait a minute, has this been true? And then I looked it up, and yes, not only is it true, but like so many people think it's fake because of like TMNT. And I hadn't put that together until now, but that does make sense. No wonder I thought it was fake. That's literally
Right.
the plot to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, is that they were in the sewer, and that's why they're mutated now.
When you're talking about the alligator in the sewer, are you talking about the one where he's like filming downwards in
Yeah, the
like
one
the
where he
hole,
films down
and
in in 2017.
you can just see in the dark like its eyes and mouth.
Yes, and it's
Yes.
like
Okay.
hissing. It's like loudly hissing at him.
And it's yeah, and it's loudly hissing, and it looks so big. It's so big at
It's
first you question.
huge.
It's so huge in there. It looks like at first it looks like a big creepy smile
Yeah.
because it's not even like green. Like you can't even see any green on it. You could just see just this face. Oh, it's scary. Um, well, that crosses two off our list.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's got a little 2 for 1.
Yeah, a
We'll
little
throw
two.
on in the video cast over on the Just a Guy Network, the video version of this podcast. We're gonna throw up all the visual aids
Yeah,
necessary for
yeah,
this as well. So don't worry.
yeah. And with that, I think we'll go on. Well, Jesus.
Everything all right over there?
Yeah. For some reason, of all nights, recording night, I can't talk right. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our final topic for today's episode. And for the first time, because normally on this show, we've just had sounds of like, ooh, big vibration in the ocean, but scientists say it was an ice cube that I dropped off a cruise ship.
I just say it was an ice cube that it just shows a picture of the rapper Ice Cube.
They called it the bloop because it went bloop when I dropped it in there.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, today, this is definitely real. This is solid. We know what this is from. This isn't a, huh? This is a weird sound. I don't know what it's from. This is all real. Today we have, unfortunately, a 911 call, and I'll go ahead and I'll say for those of you uh, listening at night or who just don't want this, then you may leave. Have a
Yeah.
good night.
Viewer discretion.
Play viewer discretion. Here, play the outro real quick. Bam. So there you are. All right, and there you go. I'm waving, and now, now for those of you who are still here, um, we're gonna talk about this. This is Travis the chimpanzee's uh, day gone wrong.
Dude, come on. You didn't have to give it the Baby's Day Out title.
um, so here's the backstory to the before I guess we play a snippet. I don't know. Um, so there was this woman, and I'm gonna look up her name while I talk about it. But there was this woman, uh, who owned this chimpanzee, and this chimpanzee was actually quite famous in the town. Very well known by even law enforcement and everybody. He was like the town celebrity. Um, and this woman owned her at the house, and at this point, the chimp got old and whatnot. And let's see. Then her friend came by, and apparently it was either like somebody took Travis the monkey's toy or food away. Like somebody was like, "Oh no, Travis, you can't have a treat because you're old." What? Guess what, Travis? Diabetes is real. No,
The big
Travis.
monkey myth.
Yeah, Travis went nuts on this lady's friend. Uh, Carla Nash is the woman's friend, and I guess I'll find the other lady soon. But her friend was attacked by this chimp, and it was an old, and this is a big burly old chimp. This is a chimp that's been around for a while, and this chimp got angry because it found out what diabetes was, and it came out, and it basically mauled this person's friend, like fingers, face, all of it. You know, rip
Yes, this
tearing.
was the first time when I first heard this story. I've known about this story for a little while, but when I first heard about this story, this was one of the first times that I had heard. Like I'd heard around the playground and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, you
Ooh.
know that monkeys will rip your face off. I'm like, what the frick are you talking about,
Oh
Sam?
my
And I
gosh.
would just
And you know what? I remember hearing that too.
and you want to know something? Like, and when I was in elementary school, I thought that was the dumbest thing ever. I'm like, yeah, right, as if. And then I remember like in middle school or something, I finally like heard about the. I was like somebody was like I think Ranger. Sorry, I know that we say names all the time on this show without like
Name
context.
drop.
Yeah, I'll
Well,
name drop him. But he told me like, dude, look up monkey attacks, dude. It's scary. And I looked that up. I'm like, oh, oh my god! And it's all real. And I'm like, wow. They literally will gouge out your eyes
yeah.
and just like destroy, like crush the bones in your nose take your lips off your mouth. Like it's bad, dude.
And this is what Travis did to Carla. Pretty much just literally went ape, and just when you watch an ape at the zoo get angry and like beat on the glass or beat on something, this is what the ape was doing to the woman. And apes are really strong, so yeah, bash, bash in, bash, bash, bash. Now, Carla Nash's friend, who was in charge of Travis, called 911, and that 911 call is very, very available to listen to. Literally, you can type it up on YouTube, listen to the whole thing right now. We'll put just like a small snippet here.
The chimp killed my friend.
What's the problem with your friend?
Oh, please.
What's the problem with your friend? I need to know.
Send the police up with a gun. With a gun. Hurry
Who
up.
has a gun?
Please hurry up. He's killing my girlfriend.
What is the problem?
He's killing my friend.
Who's killing your friend?
Chimp, my chimpanzee.
Oh, your chimpanzee is killing your friend.
Yes. He ripped her apart. Hurry up. Hurry up, please.
There's someone on the way.
But basically, like the actual audio recording, it's crazy because you can hear mainly Carla's friend, the owner of the chimp, on the phone freaking out. You can hear her like go from, oh, he's hitting my friend, he's beating my friend, and then she just says he ripped her face off and she's dead. Now, she didn't die. Carla Nash survived.
Yeah, she didn't die. She survived, but she has no face.
Yeah, she does it. Well, yeah, she over time got it reconstructed to the best of their ability. But yeah, she survived with very bad scarring, very horrible disfigurements, and all that jazz. She appeared on
You know what she
Oprah.
looks like? This is going to sound bad, but I swear I'm not joking. This
Okay.
is just the best thing I can describe it with. You know the really old worm from SpongeBob?
Oh my God.
That's what she looks like now. It's terrible. It's devastating. It's genuinely devastating.
You mean the one that's like chocolate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that
one that's
one.
literally just has eye holes.
Yeah,
Yep. That's what she looks like.
yeah. But good on her. Hopefully she's doing well now. But the 911 call in detail, like for those of you who just don't want to listen to this thing, it's just bad. What you have in store is her on the phone saying this stuff, but you can hear Travis in the background going crazy too, and doing his thing. And eventually the cops show up and shoot down Travis, the animal. And they well, at first she got out and stabbed him before she called 911, because she ran out, stabbed him, and then Travis was attacking her, and then she got away and ran into a car and locked herself in the car and then called 911.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, this is a nightmare. This is like a genuine nightmare.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, that day must be traumatizing. And I've put myself through that situation. Not put myself through that situation. I've put myself. Yeah, no, I've put myself in the mindset of that situation a lot after I first heard about it, and yeah, it's crazy. There's also news. I don't know if it's either news or just like by police themselves, but there's helicopter footage over the house, and you can see like pieces of her and blood all over the yard. Really? Yeah.
I did not know about that. Wow.
I don't know where I saw the footage first. It wasn't like I went out for it. It like came with one of those like top 10 scary audio things, kind of like what we're doing. But yeah, this is pretty scary. Oh, side note, just to end this on a lighter note, somebody made a comedic sketch parody on YouTube.
Oh yeah, because that's ripe for parody.
Exactly. And that's I going through the video itself is like really terrible and just very bad taste, poorly done. It's literally just the same guy, and he puts on a blonde wig and is like, "Oh no!" And then he cuts to him with like brown smudges on his face and like
Oh my
brown fur, and he goes, "Ooh ooh ah ah," and then he like puts like a. It's terrible. He puts like a. He made like this Play-Doh face with blood and like fake eyeballs to then like mess with and like put in his mouth. It's
dude,
it's
this
weird.
is.
It's weird.
I would sue. I would sue if I were the victim's family.
Exactly. And what's better about the video is going through the comments, because you'll find some people go, "This is the funniest thing I've seen in my life, and I'm standing by it." And then there's other people who are like, "You are insensitive. I'm the family member. I'm going to sue."
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not a funny situation, but the fact that exactly what I said. That's very good.
Yeah.
Play-Doh face. Dude, that sounds like a bit. Like that sounds like
It is a
bad
bit.
That sounds like a bad bit from like an SNL, like not like an SNL sketch about like this, but like if they made an SNL sketch about a guy who did only jokes about like poor taste.
Right. It literally does feel like that. It feels like a segment of like, "Hey, Joe, can you make a comedy sketch just, with no training?" Sure. Sure, I can. Let me pick a very relevant new topic. Oh, yeah, from 2007. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arr!
I'm the family member and I'm gonna sue. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just too good. Okay. I'm
And,
sorry.
and who is this? This is Mrs. Travis. Oh my God. When did you learn to talk?
Well, tell you what do you say we dive right into the skull ratings?
Ooh, yeah. Okay. We're gonna start off with the Goatman. How many skulls do you rate that, Mr. Nigel?
Honestly, I'd give it a 7. I remember when I first saw the image, I was probably like, and then I probably clicked away really fast. But when like looking back, especially because I had to make both thumbnails for both the video version and the anchor version, so I've looked at the picture now extensively, and I'm like, like yeah,
Right.
it's scary, but it's not as scary as I think I would have thought back when I was like first seeing it, which was several years ago. So yeah, I'll give it a 7. I'll still be generous because it was still pretty scary, but it could be scarier.
Yeah. I would say, as far as just like the myths around the Goatman, that deserves like a 7 or 8 for me with the skull rating. But in terms of like the actual image, I've never found goats to be particularly spooky. And I know they're very, they've got the satanic imagery sort of background to them. But, goats are goats. What are they going to do? Yeah, hoof me? Like, no.
They're gonna hook you.
And when you picture a goat man, I just picture something a little bit more scarier than that picture. That's literally a very muscular, toned, naked man squatting down to poo with a goat for a head. It's not very scary. It's kind of like, what fashion model did this?
Yeah,
Like
the newest
who?
installation from Channing Tatum.
Yeah, exactly. Like what abstract artist went out into the woods and got naked and did this?
Yeah,
So it's kind of comedic, especially when you throw a monkey and a weird blob next to it for the thumbnail. um, Moving on to, oh yeah, I already gave my skull 7 or 8. We're gonna move on to I have the body of a pig, our second
that's right.
topic. What do you rate that?
Okay, so for this one, Honestly, I'm gonna go lower than you're probably gonna think. I'm giving it a
Ooh,
6,
okay.
and here's why.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna give it a 6, and here's why. I was actually a bit underwhelmed because when I looked up "I Have the Body of a Pig," the images that came up were actually way scarier than what's in the actual video.
This is
Somebody
true.
made like CGI renders of what an actual high quality version of said creature or ghost or whatever would have looked like
Wait,
if it
really?
followed the context of the video.
Really?
Yeah, and I just typed in "I have the body of a pig." I didn't like type in like, oh, the
Here, I have to
what do they
look
call
it
it?
up.
What's the police
On
sketch? Yeah,
YouTube?
no, on like Google,
Oh,
just
on
on
Google.
Google search.
Okay. Well, you continue with that, but
Yeah. But yeah, so I saw that and I was like, wow, this video's gonna be pretty scary. Then I watched it and it was again like the early 2000s YouTube horror, and I was like, that's kind of scary, I guess. Like if you're into that sort of thing. Um, but yeah, so that was about it for that. Um, so yeah, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Yes. Um. Now, what else do we have here? Our last topic. Oh wait, I gotta rate it. I gotta rate Body of a Pig.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was looking at images that Nigel was talking about, and I kind of got I may have to change my trousers. Anyways, um, I'll rate I Have the Body of a Pig. I'm gonna give that an 8,
All
and
right. All right.
just purely because for me, if this video has the effect to make me kind of freeze and not want to move watching it late at night, even though it's funny and it's kind of crappily made and it's just this video has a perfect blend of like not showing too much and showing enough to just let your imagination run wild. And the imagination, we all know, is much scarier than anything. So I'll give that an 8. And now we're going to talk about good old Travis the Chimp, the one who, you know, didn't peel the right banana.
Dude, get this guy out of here. Get Dan out of here. Comedy sketch, no training.
Anyways, what would you rate this whole situation?
This one I'd actually give a 9 out of 10. All
There we
right. Knowing the after effect of the actual situation, knowing even well, we've spoken about this. All
Yeah.
right. This is another clue. We spoke about the origins of this podcast in another episode, but without spoiling too much, because I think we settled on doing a whole episode about this topic. Um, but without giving away too much, me and Dane have spoken extensively over how scary, but also how deceptively friendly chimps and like apes
Yes.
are to have around.
Yeah.
So yeah, knowing that this was probably the most popular and the most highly publicized case of chimp violence against a human and chimp aggression towards a human and the sheer amount of strength that they hold, um,
Gosh.
then yeah, I'm gonna have to give this a 9 out of 10. It
Yeah.
was scary then and it's scary now. Let's just be honest.
Oh yeah. Chimps, apes in general. Maybe not little tiny monkeys, but apes with that big strength. That is some real scary stuff. Because they're not cartoon people. They're not gonna come up to you and they're not gonna go, let me demonstrate my strength and lift you up and toss you. And oh, I hit my back and now I'm dead. No, they're gonna come up to you and they look at you, and you've made them mad, and all they want is for you to be gone. So it's just dismantle, completely tear it apart, gone, gone, gone. That's what they want. They want you
Actually, you
dead.
know what? You know what I think would probably be the best way to illustrate?
Ooh, what?
Okay. Actually, my little headcanon theory of what goes through a chimp's brain when they do this.
Okay.
So you know when you're a kid and you're like, man, I could destroy whoever I want. All I have to do is get a frying pan and bash them over the head. Oh, all I have to do is, rip their nose off. Oh, all I have to do is jam a chopstick in one ear and out the other.
Right.
Chimps use this as their genuine battle strategy because that's all they can do. So
That's true.
when oh, okay, this might be going on a tangent here. There's a really scary scene of Ren and Stimpy where Ren is threatening Stimpy.
Oh,
one of the
love that
threats-
scene. No, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I love it. It's one of my favorite cartoon moments ever. Go
Yeah.
on. It's one of my favorites.
One of the threats is like, I don't even remember the whole thing, so feel free
He
to fill
goes,
in.
he says something like, I'm going to gouge your eyeballs out. Well, he says that, but then he's like, I'm going to pull your arms until they pop
Yep.
and snap off. And
He starts saying
you
some
see,
really violent stuff.
yeah, and in detail, and he's super mad, and the animation detail is super like stringy, and like there's creep show backgrounds to go on with like everything he's saying, and
Yep.
sound effects. Like when he says, I'm gonna like pull your arm till it snaps, there's a loud snap that happens, and he does a whole motion and everything. It's a great scene. But yeah, I think you're right, Nigel. That's pretty much what apes do.
Yeah, they take that to like they tear it down to its most bare bones. They think about it for like seconds, and they just go in and they go crazy. I go stupid. But yeah, it's wild. But that's what I think happens. So Dane, did you already rate it?
No, I think I'm gonna give it a 9 too.
Yeah. I don't want. The only reason why I'm not giving it a 10 is just because I don't want to shoot my whole wad.
Right.
But yeah, it's very scary.
I don't know what out there might get a 10 out of 10 for me, but
I know. Actually, you know what? That's why I don't want to give it a 10, because there is one thing throughout my entire time that we've been doing this show, but also just in day-to-day life that I've told you will always be scary to me.
yeah, I already know.
And you know what it is. Yeah,
Mhm.
you know what it is. So I'm gonna save that for when we cover that. Inevitably.
And well, I'm the one who sets up these 3-course episodes, so I'll be nice, and I'll make it a long time
Yeah.
before we cover it. And you know what's funny? You audience members are sitting there thinking, oh my God, it must be really bad if they don't want to cover it for a long time. It must be really scary if Nigel's scared of it. It's one you guys know, like literally like number one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
It's
you
one of
guys
the
would
most
roll your
popular.
eyes. It's one of the popular creepypastas. You guys would roll your eyes and laugh.
Granted, though, what's scary about it is it's scary for the same reason that Ren and Stimpy scene is scary. It's a part of like it's a part of a genre. It's a part of a genre.
Yeah, it's a part of a genre. Yeah. Well, with that being said, creepies and creepy peepers. I tried to say ladies and gentlemen and creepy peepers, and it didn't want to happen. How about boys and ghouls? Boys and ghouls.
Boys and ghouls. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
Boils and ghouls. I hope you guys are thoroughly chilled to your core. And hopefully we are your what?
I like how it was just like to your core.
Well, I also hope that we might be your first source of information for some of these tales of terror and mayhem and creatures and features. And I am a creeper, and Nigel is a
Peeper.
and we are the Creepy Peepers. And we're gonna come at you next time with a nice little episode. Maybe about me and Nigel's past with a certain very popular franchise that we already talked about. It's a movie.
Ooh,
You know?
yes.
Yeah. But we'll be diving a little bit deeper into let's just say the lore. No, maybe not the lore. Maybe not the lore, but maybe just like me and Nigel's personal history. But until then, thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
And we'll see you then. Hopefully it won't be too long.
We'll see you next time on the Creepy Peepers podcast. Dude, it's worse. It sounds like you're getting shot at.
Okay, I'm gonna unplug it. Okay, don't leave. I'm gonna unplug it.
All right.
And see if that. Okay, do I sound better?
Now it's just normal. Now it's fine.
Am I audible?
You're audible and you're crystal clear. All right. I don't know what that freaking could free ball at this one.
Okay, I'll free ball it.
All right. I'm free. Free ball.
Free ball it.
Yeah, there you go.
This has been a Just a Guy Network audio production.